So we have different from person to person, high or low. High or low, it depends. So it is also, we can say it is different from person to person. So understand this, and then don't ask people to write the way you write, okay? Don't ask people behave the same way as you do, okay? Some people, yes, I have to keep jump up, dancing, try, or let's say shouting, but somebody just, yeah, it's normal. So you have to accept it as it is, yeah, as it is. You cannot expect everyone behave the same because they have different level of emotions, okay? So in terms of intensity of emotions, we draw the lesson is that different people will have different level of emotion when they face the same events or the same things, yeah? And the next thing we focus on is frequency and durations of emotion. Yeah. Frequency and duration of emotions. So this is also depends. Some jobs, some area may bring you very often positive emotion or negative emotions, and also some aspect may bring you long emotions, some shock emotions. So it also depends. High or low frequency, long or short. Also, this one also different from people to people, different from person to person, okay? And different from job to job. And the next one is about a relationship between rationality and emotions. Yeah. Rationality and emotion. So the question to you is, okay, when you make a decision, you should base on your rationality or emotions or emotion. So of course some of you may say, well, I need to collect the data, the information, I have to calculate, I have to think it over before I make a decision. Yes, this is right. It is rationality. If you make decisions without rationality, it's a disaster. And how about emotions? Yes, some of you may say, hey, I need to have a feeling. I need to have a feeling that this is right, that this is true. Then I make a decision. Nah? So then, can we base on rationality or emotions to make decisions? So the answer is, we should use both rationality and emotion in our decision making. Yeah, it depends. You can use rationality first together with your feelings, or you may use your feeling first and then you have to collect data, collect information together, and then put it together and you draw out the decision. Okay, so if I give you an example, if you use mainly emotion to make a decision, like, okay, love at first sight, you know? When you are in love at first sight, it means you use emotion. You use mainly your emotions, okay? You just see somebody as great, as perfect. You love him, right? So you have no rationality at all. But it is a disaster. Who knows? Okay? People have a trend to show all the good things. You cannot see behind. So then, you should put both rationality and emotions. And if you use your rationality only, it means calculate, collect the informations. Believe me, you cannot find anyone that suits you in this life because you calculate too much. And no one, let's say, no one that match your criteria. So the point is that you use this one together with this one. And okay, I give you a little bit fun formula. Okay, rationality together with emotion and equal what? Equal this is, yeah? Perfect decision. Okay, this is what we should we should do. Okay, then we go to the next thing, the function of emotions. How emotion help us in life. So now we talk about functions of emotion. So emotion play some function like this. The first one, motivate people to take actions, is motivate people to take action. So when you have good emotions, you dare to do things. You feel happy, you eager, you have, let's say, motivation to do things. When you are in good, you have good motivation. The next thing is critical for rational thinking. Critical for rational thinking. Yes. You use rationality not enough, but it has to be together with your emotion as well. Okay, that's the other thing. Contribute to our rationality that contribute to better decision, as we just talked about. And then the next one, help people survive, try a good day, avoid danger. Okay. Help people survive, or let's say avoid dangers. Okay, so sometimes you cannot use rationality, you just have a feeling, yeah, I feel it's impossible, I feel I don't like it, you feel hated or you feel afraid, yeah, and then you don't do it. So you avoid, you, for example, you look at somebody and your feeling is not that good, you just feel this person is not that good to go with or to work with, then you avoid. So that kind of emotion help you to survive, help you avoid the danger. Yeah, sometimes it's very difficult to say, but emotionally you feel that. And the last one, understand and predict people behavior. Understand and predict people behavior. This is very important. So we use our emotions. We look at people, we perceive other people's emotion, and then we can predict their behavior. So we understand emotions and the emotion help us this thing. Okay. Then we go to the next thing. The two constraints of emotions. So what affect negatively affect to our emotion? We call constraints. The two constraints of the emotions. So what are those? What are those? So the first constraints coming from organizational influence. Organizational influence. So all organizations, they have their own policies, they have their structure, they have way of doing things. So they have, let's say, way of managing resource allocation and management. Yeah. So even though of course, in order to have better emotion in terms of receiving more resources, everyone like more resources, but the organization, they have policy and way to allocate the resources, and you have to follow that. So this is a constraint of our emotions. The second one is organizational climate. Organizational climate. So if you are in an organization which provide trust climate, where people are friendly to share and talk, etc., so then it may affect to our emotions. But for example, the climate of organization is that, okay, you have to focus on doing things of the company. You cannot do the individual things. So you like to do your own job, your own things, but actually now this is time for the company. So even though you like do your personal things, but you have to do the job of the company. So it is source of constraint to your emotion, right? The third one is organizational process. Organizational process. So people have process of doing things, and you have to follow that. You want to go this way, that way? No, you have to go in a way that the organization already planned. No? So that is also the source of constraint to our emotion. Next one is the emotional labors. Emotional labor. Emotional labor is what? So here, when you go to work, you have to follow all the principle, all the policy, all the way in the organizations. So then you have to show what we call here is emotional labor. So they are emotional dissonance. Okay, from this we have the concept emotional dissonance. Dissonance means inconsistency. You want this, but you are in the organization. You have to follow the rules of the organization. So it is constraints. So there is a gap, there is an inconsistency between your real emotions and the emotion you have to show at work. So we call this emotional dissonance. So there are two ways people show emotion. The first one we call felt emotion. Felt emotion means your nature, your true